Aloha, friends and food foresters everywhere around the world. Aloha means hello with love and goodwill. And I want to share with you how I perform my step number 5, transform your forest floor. And this is a very fun springtime activity. So it's a great time of year to share the process. So what we have are nasturtiums all growing wild all around here. Now that wasn't an accident. I did plant nasturtium seeds, but what happened? They began to naturalize themselves and grow where they want to grow. So they're growing here under this oak tree, and they grow out there. They grow along the edges. What they do is they absorb a lot of water when it's raining, and that's a great function. Plus then they absorb sunlight, energy, and make colors. And their leaves are known to be nutrient dense. And what's really fun, for children of all ages, you can eat the flowers, and each color of flower can have a bit different flavor. Like sometimes they can be spicier than other times. And as each generation of nasturtiums grows, you get more variations. Sometimes you get some amazing, beautiful blends of flowers. So that's really fun. So I did plant nasturtium seeds once a long time ago, and now they are here. Why do they like it here? One of the main things is our beautiful covering of wood chips, which I get from chipdrop.com, and these break down into material. What happens is certain soil dwelling creatures eats it, poops it, and believe it or not, poop is a great fertilizer. Well, we all know that, right? We go buy manure, but here we have the worms doing some manure and some other creatures doing their jobs. So these right here are radishes that I did not plant, and they're growing all along here. Somebody else planted these a long time ago. Obviously, whether it was God or humans, but it was probably humans because people around here know about these plants. These are radishes that grow wild. I don't plant them. Isn't that fun? That's what makes it feel like a forest. So I identify plants that show up. I learn about the plants that show up. Here are the green onions that hubby and I planted so many years ago, like 10 years ago, maybe, something like that. And what happened was we realized our chickens love to eat green onions. So they would eat the green part, but they wouldn't eat the white part. So I noticed the white part could still be planted because it had roots and it was alive. It wanted to grow. So I put some of those in the ground. And we have had an unending supply of green onions ever since then. Plus we get a lot of seeds right now. See these beautiful white fun flowers? Those are the green onion seeds. Now, think about it. I probably planted, I don't know, I'm gonna say I planted 10 green onions back in that time period. I'm not exactly sure, but I can tell you the number of green onions that we've had ever since then just keeps getting bigger. And so that's really fun. That's another example of nature's infinite abundance. Here's a mistake that I made where this tree is kind of cold. This winter it's been kind of cold. and I did not provide it with enough of a gild in the front to keep the winter winds from blowing on it. We got a lot of rain. So, and it might be that the soil is way too wet. Also, let's just see. Oh, here's another thing. Get this stuff like right off the trunk. Okay, a little covering, but not that much. Okay. This was that beautiful mulch from Chip Drop. This was palm tree, which was, it smells really sweet. Very nice. So yeah, I think this one froze, and I've had that happen before, and I should have known better, actually. But yeah, what happens is cold air comes right down this path. Whoosh. And the tree needs something more to block it. Like this tree right here. This is a good example. I had a guava here before, and the same thing happened. The guava froze to death over time, and once a really bad winter or colder winter came, it was very obvious. So anyway, this is an ice cream bean that I planted here because that guava died because it was just standing on the forest floor all alone. It did not have enough company around it. So first I planted the elephant food here, which can grow so well in Southern California, just about everywhere. You can break off a piece and stick it in the ground. This is a great pioneer plant. And once you have it, you can keep getting more and more of it very easily. You can eat the leaves. They're succulent and sour and yummy. And you can even water plants with this. Strangely enough, if you have a succulent plant and you lay it on the ground, on top of the ground, the water will go into the ground and sort of like water the ground. So that's really fun. But I planted that one. I also put in some of this lavender to kind of fill it in a little bit lower to create this gild, like right there, so the tree could survive better by having something on the ground around it, not being standing there like all cold. Yeah, so that makes sense, right? And then the mulch is like a blanket in the winter time. You cover the ground with the wood chips, and that creates fabulous soil. It's like a way of accelerating the process of a food forest. Like things drop, we chip them up, we put them back out, and this builds up our soil life, because the soil life needs to be covered. You can't have bare dirt. It needs a ceiling, and it also makes a floor for us to walk on. And we're here at the 0 point. Okay, 0 point. We're walking on the surface. Below us is earth, above us is sky. And we are co-creating this beautiful new earth. And I send you so much aloha.